Hello folks, and welcome to Say Hello to Infinifactory. I am having so much fun with this game. This is another one of the puzzle games, so not just a week of puzzles, but let me just enjoy a couple food pellets in my spacious accommodations by these alien creatures that have abducted me. I'm not going to spoil too much about this game, but what I am going to spoil is the little secret of how incredibly fun this game is. Now, this is made by Zachtronics, the same folks who did SpaceChem, which I demoed earlier. I was actually going to do this the same week as SpaceChem, but I had some problems with the footage, so I'm redoing it. So here I am in my spacious cell. I've got everything that you might need in between solving puzzles. I've got, I hope this is a toilet because I've been using it there and it might be a printer, but it's hard to tell. I don't know what that lever does, but it makes strange sounds. There's some delicious food pellets here that remind me a little bit of milk bones. And for my excellent work earlier, they gave me this really nice trophy. The Comic Sans is a lovely touch, and I like it so much I'm going to put it right here in my toilet in a place of honor. I won't go down though, so I don't really know. Well, anyways, let me show you the basics of SpaceChem. I'm going to try not to spoil too many puzzles, but I will be showing you a few. So let's go ahead and, I don't know, let's check out this one. So you'll notice, by the way, that there are exactly like what you would expect. There are histograms. This is just like SpaceChem. It kind of evaluates our solutions. So let me hop here and show you. So first of all, there's a jetpack, and we can fly, and we can do all sorts of cool stuff. What's also really interesting is there's a story, just like in SpaceChem, but it's a lot more involved. I think this is the right one. You'll find occasionally these bodies with what they call failure logs.
No, I'm not going back. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'll just stay here. They can't make me go back. They can't make me go back. Going to stay here. I'm not going back. I'm done.
Unfortunately, they can make you go back, and they can do a lot of other terrible things to you as well. Like, just if you give up, they just vent your helmet. I've seen it happen. So they being strange aliens. I don't want to spoil too much of the plot, but it is not a very happy plot. Now, a lot like SpaceChem, basically you're building a factory that does stuff. Let me go ahead and start this one just so you can sort of see it going. Unlike SpaceChem, this is more of like a block game. You know, it actually loads up in 3D space. So this is a machine that assembles these strange 2-type blocks, right? And so you can kind of see that basically things just kind of fall out, and then we have to assemble something that, using basic world physics and a few machines, produces the target we need here. So you can see this one here. By the way, I'm just flying around my jetpack. You can see that we are actually producing this 2-type block structure. I actually had a little bit of trouble figuring this one out because the game's initial start is pretty unforgiving, but you can see here that the way that the principle of this is that there's these non-conveyor belts. Let's see it again. And when the conveyor, so you can see this non-conveyor belt, things just stop there. But when another block hits it, it kind of nudges it off. So that's sort of the principle by which we can do a bunch of stuff. And if I go ahead and finish this, if I hold down F, you can see that we can go pretty fast, and I can hold down T to pause, just kind of get a sense of it, and then F to go back. And there's the solution. Now, we could try to optimize this just like we could any other solution, but let's go back to the cell, and you know, we can get a whole performance review, etc. There's all sorts of interesting things that we can do. Let's go to a new one. Let's see if I can get this one. So I actually want to redo this one. Just to show you, this is a slightly more complex puzzle in that it uses these. Here's the way that they do tutorials in this for blocks, is you get these very obscure IKEA-like infographics involving the aliens that abducted you. Now, this is outside the training ground, so there's no longer that virtual snow environment, but instead these strange, majestic ships. And I really dig the art style of this game. I kind of want to see if I could fly over there, but I'm pretty sure that they just won't let me. Anyways, so what this is saying is that basically there are pistons, and the pistons have to be activated by sensors. So that's pretty cool. And then our goal here is to basically get the munitions crates out. So if we start up the thing just to test it, we can sort of see here that they're just all going to stack up right there, which is fine. So why don't we go ahead and reset that. And what we need to do first is lay conveyors all the way over here. There's just no getting around the fact that we need to get some conveyors over here. And then we can, once we place in world, we can rotate. And it's pretty smart about automatically laying things out, right? Now, we can go ahead and put some of these on our hotbar. So let's go ahead. We'll get platforms. We'll do conveyors, platforms, sensors and pushers, and then finally conduit. So now you'll notice that we have kind of a hotbar for this puzzle, and they're all different for every puzzle. So basically the gist of this one, I think, is that what we want to do is set up a thing here, and then we want to rotate it. Now, we want to fire it as well, so actually what we need to do is get a vertical sensor. Now, I think that is right. Yeah, that looks right. And then we want to connect it with a piece of conduit. Boop, like that. Now, I think this is actually as fast as it's going to get. I don't know how to make it any faster. But you'll see that it basically goes... Yeah, you can see it just goes right there. And that runs pretty much as... Because there's no backup, so that runs pretty much as fast as we can go. So I think this is the optimal solution for this, and that it's the minimal footprint possible. There may be someone who can make it go faster, but I certainly don't know how. See, there are people who claim to have gotten it to go faster, but I don't know how they got it to go faster, honestly. Like, I would love to know, because... if you know, because you're an awesome Infinifactory player, let me know. But that's basically the gist of the game. Is just like with SpaceChem, try to optimize, try to play. But some of the puzzles get really intense. So let's go to one I was working on. I actually was stumped for a few days. So this one, I can see it's slightly better than my other one. I basically got a little bit further down. I think I'm close to the optimum footprint. I have no idea how they moved those things faster. I just couldn't even tell you how they got it to go that much faster. Maybe I can figure it out. But let's see. Let's go, how about this one here? Shuttle propulsion units. Let's create a new solution. I think I figured out how to do this one. So this one's tricky because it's the first puzzle that asks you to make 2 products, right? Oh, by the way, there's a really, I'm not going to even spoil the plot, but there's a really cool failure log here where you start to recognize some of the story that's going on. So we need to use welders, and we need to use something to actually split the line, and I'm not sure how. Alright, I think I have a prototype design for the solution to this. It's actually kind of simpler than I thought. In fact, we can do it pretty straightforwardly. So this is not going to be the final design, not even where it goes. But check this out. So I'm going to start this up. And basically this is designed to split off a pack of 2 and then keep the other ones going. So I think that this is entirely doable. Check this out. So here's how it works. Let's go ahead and reset and watch from the beginning slowly. Basically what it does is it uses a sensor and the fact that these things get pushed to accumulate a buffer of the size we need, specifically 2 in this case, and then continue the rest going forward. And you can see that this will actually form both parts we need purely by accident at the very end. And in fact, that might be a really efficient way to do it, so I'm kind of thinking that I might actually incorporate that in. But you can see if we get the welders going, we'll already have the parts we need. So now what I'm going to do is break these down and kind of have this save some space and footprint by moving the things down to where we need them. I think anyways that that'll be the right case. So I'm going to actually reset things and then rebuild for the next spot. Alright, I think I've moved it. So it's going to come down this conveyor, down to this set of conveyors, and then we're going to have an accumulator right here. This is going to buffer up 2 blocks, and then after 1 block passes through, it'll shove that over, and these vertical welders will put that part in the first 2-piece thruster. Now, the last one's a little bit of a different configuration, so it's a buffer of 3 platform blocks, and then up here is a sensor. So as soon as we accumulate 3, we will push it off into this triple welder, which will then, with 1 set of conveyors, because once something is welded, it won't fall apart and you can move it. It won't ever, like, the conveyors are sticky, you can kind of pretend, right? So let's go ahead and start this and see if we can get this done. I haven't tested this yet, but I'm pretty sure this will work just fine. You can see a couple places where, like, for example, here I saved on some parts. There we go. Yes. All right, that worked. How about over here? All right, look at that. The only problem with this is that I wish we could do, well, you know, honestly, there's just no way to really do this, I think, any faster. So let's go ahead and make this go faster. But yeah, this is Infinifactory. It's really fun. It's just amazing. I can't even tell you how much fun it is to play a SpaceChem-like game that exists in this 3-dimensional field. The graphics are great. The sound is really cool. I've turned it way down. But you can see this solution is very, very low footprint, but some people have made it go a lot faster. And then it asks you this little survey. How difficult is this puzzle for you? It was just right. I did find it interesting, and I did have fun, although I really want to know how they made it faster. Like, I really want to know. I wonder if there's, like, a way that we could make it go faster. Because you need to accumulate a certain number of blocks. Although I guess what's inefficient about this solution is that it's one line. So this saves a lot of parts, right? And I went to great trouble. And in fact, I think if I raised this all up by 1, then I could get rid of even a few more parts by getting rid of the need for these stabilizers. Because if I were to remove these, right, now when I start, you can see that the welders, they just go right in there, and that's not what you want. You actually got to have stabilization, and they get stabilized by being connected to this long line here. So it looks cool, but it's obviously slow. So it's a slow, cheap build. But we can maybe make it go faster. But I'll think about that for a different time. This is enough. I don't want to spoil it for you. This is my solution to this puzzle, and I had a great time thinking about it. And it actually stumped me for a day or so because I just hadn't ever thought about splitting parts. And once I realized I could do it with 2 accumulators in series like this, yeah, you see, we're actually producing a lot more than we need. If we could figure out some way to split the stuff more evenly, that might make things easier. I'll have to think on that because I suspect that that'll be something more important later on. Alright folks, well, I really want to encourage you to check out this game. It's inexpensive, it's early access in Steam, so go play Infinifactory and just get your mind blown because it is super cool.